Fala galera, bem-vindos a mais um Sonoridades. O episódio de hoje é a continuação do nosso pequeno especial do Monsters of Rock, edição de 30 anos, que acontece já nesse fim de semana aqui em São Paulo, no Allianz Parque. A gente falou com o Michael Whitton do Queensryche, que falou de disco novo, Digital Noise Alliance, que não é tão novo assim, mas que né, é o último, mais recente. Falamos de Todd La Torre, falamos de Casey Grillo, falamos de IA, Operation Mind Prime, Empire, outras coisas mais maravilhosas que o papo com o Michael Whitton rendeu. Em breve a gente vai ter outras coisas bacanas também. Curta, confira, compartilhe, faça chegar onde tem que chegar. Vocês estão vendo aqui embaixo nossos podcasts todos em português, aqui em cima as entrevistas passando, inclusive com os tatuários, espero que vocês gostem. Quem ainda não ativou o sininho, ativa. Quem ainda não se faz parte dos inscritos do canal, seja inscrito, curta, confira, confirma, compartilhe, faça chegar, tem que chegar. A gente está voltando com tudo. Muitas coisas vão acontecer de bacana. Tive recentemente probleminhas, por isso que deu uma subida, mas estamos aí. Grande abraço.
Every time I leave, you say you won't be there, and you're always there. Every time I cry your name at night, you pull close and say it's alright. I look in your eyes just like the rain, washing me red, wash over me. Touching your face, I feel the heat of your heartbeat echo in my head like a scream. What you do to me? Waited so long, I can't wait another day without you. Chasing
So, Michael, this obviously is not your first time here in Brazil. You already know that the fans are crazy for the band. But so, how are your expectations for this concert in Monsters of Rock and on the rest of the tour here in Brazil?
It's great. It's a great opportunity for us, and I think it's doing these Monsters of Rock festival kind of concerts is great for us because it shows the fans and the promoters and the buyers and everything that Queensryche is ready to start touring South America again.
And what can you spoil about the set list? Because you're already doing a kind of team tour about the Warning album and everything else. So how do you mix this with the hits that the fans want to hear in Brazil?
Yeah, it's I'm not sure how much time we get for our performances, but if it's 60 minutes, we're gonna pack as many songs in there, and then we try and do a good balance, but we try and keep the energy level up, and so I think and these festivals are mainly pretty much heavy bands, so I'm sure it'll be a good blend of everything, and maybe throw a new one in there. So I think the fans will love it.
In the mix of this tour celebrating the start of Queensryche, also you released Digital Noise Alliance. It's a great album. I love it. Here in Brazil was a blast. So how do you see the reception of this album 3 years later, né? How do you see reception, the importance of this album?
Yes, in our touring, we meet a lot of fans, and it's pretty unanimous. People really love Digital Noise Alliance. So and I think that the chemistry of the band is growing, and the songwriting is more cohesive, and but I'm really happy that everybody loves that album. So I don't know exactly what it is that's different from The Verdict or Condition Human, but regardless, the fans say that's a great album.
I think it's the composition, the songs, because we have a lot of puncher songs, a lot of great teams also. I think it is. I don't know.
Yeah, it could be. The DNA album was written more organically, so it wasn't like rehashed old demos or anything like that. It was all kind of spontaneous, and it was written as a band from the beginning, and I think maybe because it was more of a band recording where everybody was giving their input, and ideas, and just everybody gets on a good flow maybe, and I think maybe it's just because it was so fresh and it wasn't rehearsed. I think maybe that's it.
Yeah. And also we have the name Digital Noise Alliance, and a world where it's getting more digital. I mean, digital music, AI, streaming. So how do you see all this stuff nowadays?
Well, technology keeps evolving, so and there's really nothing you can do to stop it. So it's how you learn to adapt to it, and survive with it. And I think it's good in some aspects, but it's also kind of takes away the organic feel of some things. I mean, you know, anybody can get a computer and have a garage band on it or anything like that, and they can basically write an album, so, but I think you know, we're just at the beginning of all this AI stuff. So who knows how it develops and what it turns into? I don't know. Maybe we're headed for like the Terminator movie.
And Queensrÿche already told about technology in the 90s, right? The theme of some songs.
Yeah, and I think back in the days when people were still buying CDs and albums and cassettes, I think it was, I don't know, it was more cohesive, it was more fruitful for the music industry, at least in the United States. There were more record companies, and they would develop bands. They hadn't turned into banks yet, where they just give you a loan and then you have to pay it back. So I think it's I don't know. I think that is kind of been taken away. It's like when you write music and as a band, in a room, there's something about it. Because everybody can sit in their house and write, and sounds good to them, but it may not sound good to the other guys, So it's better to have everybody in the room and figure it out.
Yeah, totally agree with you. It's kind of the humanity of the music.
It's all about the song. When it comes
Yeah,
down to everything, it's what the song wants, what the song is going to dictate, and that's how we view it. We're not there to show off, and we're there to make the song as strong as it can be.
yeah, totally agree with you. And what's the secret of the success of Queensryche? Because the band's still relevant for the metal community, still relevant for the music community, and still relevant for the new fans that are getting in touch with the songs from Digital Noise Alliance as we speak.
Well,
What is the
it's
secret?
it's a good blend. You have the legacy albums, which are, in a sense, they're timeless, right? they're still relevant to the original fans, but now it's like new fans are discovering those older albums. And since we've done four albums with Todd La Torre now, we have fans that know us for those albums as well. So it's something that I think the integrity of the writing is what really people want, and a lot of thought goes into the compositions and the music, and and that's what people love about Queensryche.
Yeah, totally agree with you. Since you talk about Todd, so what? How do you see this? Because Todd is almost 15 years in the band. He's I think he's kind of, here in Brazil we call debutante. It's like when you have 15 years, it's kind of a great passage of life here in Brazil. So how do you see this almost 15 years of Todd in the band?
Right, and that's he's helped keep us relevant. He's a great songwriter, and but he's not just a vocalist and a lyric writer. He's a drummer. He can play guitar. He can speak to you and communicate to you as a musician, not just a singer.
He adds more flavors to what you intend to do.
Definitely. He's he grew up in Florida in the metal era, and he's got a lot of that influence, but he's very melodic as well, so and he's got a killer voice, so I think it's just something that, in the evolution of post Queensryche, it's like we are still doing it and kicking ass, and hopefully we'll have something new out in the future.
Yeah, I want to talk about it. You're recording, writing, so
right now we're writing. We're doing so much touring right now. It's hard to figure out where we will have a block of time to, make an album. But before we went to Europe, we brought Zeus, our producer, down to Florida, and we worked on some ideas. So just started writing, and that's where we're at right now.
And you also have a Casey Grillo on drums,
Mm-hmm.
which I think is one of the greatest drummers of all time. I'm a huge fan of him. I'm a drummer also, so when I saw him play, so
yeah,
what can you say about him?
Oh, he's an amazing player, and he brings so much to Queensryche. He respects the songs, but he's such a dynamic player, and he's very talented, and he helps in the writing process as well. So yeah, he's been in the band, over 5 years, 6 years, or whatever it is, 7. And yeah, he's great.
He's a great guy also. He looks like Buddy Rich.
Yeah, and that's one of his influences as well.
Yeah. We talk about he's doing a movie about Buddy Rich, so he's
yeah.
look like Buddy Rich. I think I have time for more 3 questions. So if you have to resume Queensryche career in one album or one song, have to present it to a guy who lives on Mars and doesn't know anything about Queensryche, which song or which album would be and why?
Wow, I would push the Operation Mindcrime album because I think it's so diverse and different than traditional metal. It's uh, it's conceptual. The songs are heavy. The just great story, and it's just something that what Queensryche did was very different than the other albums that we recorded. So I think that would be the best scenario to give somebody.
To Operation Mindcrime, we're an underground revolution working overtime. Operation Mindcrime, there's a job for you in the system, boy, with nothing to say.
I agree with you. I would also like Empire, the great album for me. I start to know Queensryche on an Empire album.
Right, and that album obviously was more accessible to everybody, and um, it was released in the time of videos where videos were a big thing, the MTV thing, and I think we made 6 videos off that album, and they were played all the time on MTV. So, uh, very popular record, but very different than Operation Mindcrime. And that's
Oh,
one thing Queensryche, what we did was to try and do each album 180 degrees different than
yeah,
the previous album.
yeah, it was a great album. I think we might have a movie about this album one day.
Who knows? Anything can happen in this business.
Yeah. If you have to choose a partner for doing anything, a song or maybe just a featuring, living guy or dead guy, who would be?
To do a song with? Oh,
Yeah.
wow. Huh. Well, probably Jimmy Page or even Jimi Hendrix.
Why?
I just it would well, one, it would be an honor for me, and two, I just think it'd be a good collision of different creativity that could spawn something really amazing.
Very good, very good. I think it would be my last question. If Michael Wilton from nowadays have to do an advice to Michael Wilton from the beginning, what would be? And if Michael from the beginning had to say something to Michael nowadays, what do you think he would say to you?
I'd say believe in yourself and believe in your your premonitions and your sixth sense, and not all the time on your logic.
Michael, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it.